friends, and thank you for joining us for another episode of Fort Worth Roots. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you stream your podcast from. Just look for Fort Worth Roots. Social media, Fort Worth Roots on Facebook, Instagram, all the stuff. My career's over. What do you think you want to do? I'm going to sell really long wieners.
Yeah. I mean,
come to think of it, it might have been 3 feet long. It was ridiculous.
Lord,
Whatever it was huge.
In this day and age, 2 feet hardly even sounds impressive. Just get ridiculous with this stuff.
Everything about our sponsors and the events that we've got coming up will be in the show notes. Real quick, I will tell you that this episode is sponsored by Woodpost Metalworks. If you need anything, steel fabrication, light steel fabrication, plasma cutter, fence work, any of that, these are your people here locally to get that done. It's woodpostmetalworks.com, and if you'll go there at checkout, type in podcast 817 and you'll receive 10% off. And this is the last week that I get to talk about our big event that I've been talking about for months. This is the first time we've gone out and done a show this big. We're doing it for you, the listener, as a way to say thank you. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff going on. I will tell you more at the end of this episode and in the show notes. It's going to be September 10th. That's a Saturday out at Pouring Glory from 1 to 6 p.m. and it's free to the public. Come hang out with us. Our guest today is an incredible local artist that, a lot of people have been asking me to have this gentleman on. Not only is he a great artist, but he's very intertwined with our local community. You can find him at all the big events, vendor markets. He was even at the Amplify 817 Day. It's really cool walking into a place and you already know some of the people that are there. Makes you feel like you know people. Anyway, this was one of them. You can go to Jack Daw Folk Art Etsy.com, or just go to your Google browser and type that in, Jack Daw Folk Art, and it'll pull right up. I will have the link in the show notes. You can click on that. It'll take you over there. What you're going to find here is some incredible art that our friend has done by carving out on a template of linoleum. Yeah, like the stuff on your floor, but it's different. And our guest explains that it's different and that you can actually buy things on the internet now because it's 2022. Cheers to that. And if you don't get a chance to watch the YouTube version of this episode, which you can do by going to YouTube and typing in Fort Worth Roots and it'll pull up and you can click on this week's episode, at least go to that website and check out this man's art. I promise you, if you don't buy anything, you'll at least be very entertained. He's got some very original stuff here. Again, that's Jack Daw Folk Art, and the link will be in the descriptions. All right, that's enough out of me. Thank y'all for being here, and give it up for my new friend, Jack Daw. Let's start the show. Jack Daw, everybody. The extraordinary man that had made the ranch-style bean. What do you want to call this thing?
That's just my Texas Warhol ripoff.
It's a masterpiece is what it is.
Can of beans. It's got that real Western flavor. Please your husband.
Jack, thanks for doing this with me, man. So right off the bat, how is your art classified? Because what you're working on is that wood or just leather?
It's linoleum.
Linoleum,
which everybody thinks of as like flooring, but
right. Immediately, that's what I thought of.
That's what I thought of the first time I heard of it. But it's kind of a rubbery. It's made with linseed, so it's linoleum.
So do you pick your canvas up at the flooring store?
No.
Totally different. I get it linoleum.
I get it on the internet.
Okay.
It's 2022.
Now you just came back from Mexico.
Si, senor.
What were those shenanigans about?
It was incredible.
Did you go down there for any reason or just vacation?
Well, I figured they would have more tacos than we do, and however many tacos you think Mexico has, they have so many more tacos than that. Everything is tacos.
Yeah,
it's fabulous.
When my first and last only trip to Mexico, the menu was a lot different than I would have thought. Like, there's no Tex-Mex there. It's like really good delicacies down there.
I don't think I ever stumbled across rice or beans, which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
I went to one restaurant and they gave me like the tiniest bit of like refried black beans.
Yeah.
But
as close as you got to home, huh?
Yeah.
Did you go down there for any specific reason?
We've been trying to go down there for 3 years. We had it all booked right before the pandemic.
Got off-ramped by dang old COVID.
But yeah, we just wanted to go.
Yeah. What part of Mexico were you in?
In Mexico City.
Okay.
So just the massive Mexico City.
Yeah.
Walking
And,
6 miles a day, trains, buses, Ubers.
Did y'all do the resort thing, or did y'all
No,
just
we stayed in a
find
little
cozy
Airbnb,
Yeah.
which was like, it was basically an apartment complex.
Okay.
And got bitched at in Spanish for smoking cigarettes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that not okay? I guess?
Not in this apartment complex.
Right.
Mexico is much cleaner and safer than anyone would ever imagine.
Mexico City is.
I feel like it's the safest place I've ever been to in my life.
Really?
And clean. Every morning we wake up and we go down the street to get coffee, and there would be 4 people sweeping the sidewalks, like each side of the sidewalk for each block. 4 people cleaning it. It's like, I don't know if it's just a government program, but they keep that place clean.
You know, you hear crazy stories, and
Yeah, I heard lots of them.
yeah.
Everybody's scared of Mexico City.
Well, in Mexico in general, right?
Yeah.
And then, like, when I went down there, I kind of had that in the back of my mind that, this isn't home, and you need to kind of pay attention to your surroundings.
Right.
But I was trying to keep a lid on it
Right.
and not make it a big deal so that the girlfriend could enjoy the trip without any kind of fear.
Right.
And they told us leaving the airport that the window shades need to stay closed, right? For whatever reason. I didn't ask questions. And as we're traveling to the resort, here comes the policia with a crew serve weapon mounted very tackily in the back of like a Toyota, right? In a pickup. And I saw it, and I made sure that I redirected the girlfriend's attention so that she
Nothing
didn't
to see
see
here.
it. So, there were a few things that I noticed that were a little outside of typical.
Yeah.
But once you cross the gate into the resort, you're in paradise. It was absolute paradise. So I wonder about that, if there are certain areas that you don't go to. And in my mind, Mexico City would have been one of those, but you're telling me it's quite the opposite.
We went to the bad parts, the parts people were like, don't go here. Like all the tourist guides, like, don't go here. We went there at night and took the train. No problem at all. They must have like a walk softly and carry a big stick motto, because there are 1 billion cops, all with machine guns, all very visible. And they're also the nicest people. You walk by and they're like, "Buenos dias."
Wow.
I'm like, all right, machine gun guy. Buenos dias. Yeah, I don't think there's any crime in Mexico City.
Wow. Okay. All right. Good to know. I've got my brother's down there right now, somewhere in the Yucatan. I can't remember the name of the city.
I
but
wouldn't vouch for the Yucatan.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Okay.
The Mayans are out for blood.
Maybe. I don't know. But he's setting up an Airbnb down there, and I'm trying to talk the guys over at the Funky Panther into going on a trip with me down there.
Nice.
Once
I'm
he
sure
gets
it's
it all
great.
picked
Yeah.
up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was worried about Mexico City until we got there.
Yeah.
It's just like you hear stories. I'm sure Yucatan's probably the same thing.
So
Juarez, I would still maybe steer clear of. That one.
right, that's the real
seems
bad one,
real.
right? That's the one that's always in the news.
Yeah.
Juarez. That's a border town.
Cartel's got that one.
Isn't that a border town?
Yeah, right across from El Paso.
Yeah. I think back in the early 90s, that was the party spot, though. People would just walk over, have a good time, and then go back to Texas the next morning or later that evening.
Pre 9/11 and before so much of the cartels.
Yeah. Well, it got worse, right? Because the cartels got split up. There used to be 3 major ones, and now they've been disbanded, and there's like 11 or 12 little ones now.
I don't know.
Something like that.
It's incredible.
It's gotten hot.
It's surreal.
But we get inundated with a lot of television that has us pretty much convinced that it's a war down there.
It makes for exciting television.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to see people sweeping the street in the morning. Like,
nobody's buying tickets to
watching
that. So what got you into the art that you've chosen now?
I kind of stumbled across it. I was taking some community college classes, and I was just kind of hitting up all the art classes. And there was a printmaking class which covered what I do, the linoleum cuts, and then also like screen printing and copper plate etching. But I just fell in love with this particular medium.
Yeah. And had you been dabbling in art before that?
Yeah, I've always done some kind of bullshitty art all my life.
And this
you get these ideas and you draw them or paint them or do whatever with them.
Yeah.
But this one, I don't know, stuck with me.
Your ranch style beans. Now this is all hand carved, every bit of it.
Yep.
And then painted over after you've finished your carving.
Yeah, so you carve it out, and it's a flat plate, and so then you can ink up the plate, rolling ink onto it, and then press it into paper. And if you think of it like a giant rubber stamp, kind of.
Okay.
And so it just presses the ink on the paper, and it
Okay, so the
makes the image.
The portion that you're carving out is more or less a stamp, and then the prints that you're selling at your shows are on paper.
Yeah, those are prints of the plate that I've carved.
Okay, and you just recently did something for the city of North Richland Hills, or was it Keller?
Yeah, North Richland Hills.
Yeah.
That's where I actually live.
Okay.
I hate to admit it because I'm such a Fort Worth boy.
That's all right. It's all love.
But the head of their art department is Sarah Green. She's been around the art scene in Fort Worth forever, and they were doing some sort of billboard thing showing off some artists that actually live in North Richland Hills, and I think there's 4 of us.
So you were a shoe-in.
Yeah. Like
well,
you're doing
got
4?
You on a
There's
billboard.
only 4 of us, yeah. So I got a billboard, so that was nice.
Is it still up?
I think it goes till the end of August.
Is it digital or is it all you?
Digital.
Okay.
No, it's a digital billboard. I think there's 2 of them that run it, and my mom actually sat in front of it and like timed it, and she gave me the statistics. I don't quite recall, but I think it was like there's 90 something different ads, and mine shows up every 13 minutes for about a second.
Got to start somewhere.
I've driven past it probably 100 times since it's gone up. I think I've seen it twice.
Okay.
And I'm looking for it.
Yeah. Have you taken your picture in front of it yet?
I did take a picture of it.
Okay.
But yeah, I wasn't quick enough to get
down,
2
we got to
pictures.
get you maybe on a cooler day.
Right.
You know, now that we're coming out of the triple digits, we'll just get you to stand there awkwardly for
snap it foul.
You
I will
gotta be on
smile
it.
for 13 minutes straight so you can get that picture.
Yeah, we'll just have you standing there, and then whenever we say Jack, you got to just hit the pose, and we'll take the picture. And if anybody screws up, then we got to wait another 90 minutes.
That's how it goes. Free billboard. What are you gonna do? Give what you pay for.
So what were they trying to accomplish with that? Is it just hey, look at us, we've got awesome artists?
I know Sarah Green tries really hard to get some of the city budget towards art, and I think North Richland Hills isn't maybe super interested, but they give her a little bit to play with. So she was showing off some North Richland Hills artists on a billboard.
Have you done anything with the organizations here in Fort Worth?
Probably. My memory's terrible. I feel like
done a
the
lot
answer
of
is
things.
Yes, but I couldn't think of any of them right now.
I know I was because I've been following you for a long time, just because your art is it's unique and it's awesome, and so I've been following you on Facebook, I think, or Instagram, one of the two, maybe both. And I'm walking into the new Lola's, and I'm just checking everything out because we've all been waiting, right?
Right.
And now the doors are open, and I can go in, and I'm looking around, and we walk into the outside bar.
Special bar.
Yeah, special bar. And as soon as we walk in, my eyes hit a Jack Daw, and I go, "Hey, that's Jack Daw's." And she's like, "Yeah, it is. Like, how did you know that?"
Why do you know?
I know people,
I know
whatever.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say, when I first went into the new Lola's, because that same piece was hanging at the old Lola's.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I went in the new one, and I'm looking at all the decorations, and it's like everything's pretty much the same, just a new building. And I'm looking around, I'm like, not everything's the same. my picture's missing. So I was a little pissed off. And then about an hour later, I made it into the little special bar.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, there he is. Okay.
There it is.
We're cool. We're cool.
Well, it's definitely a lot brighter and cleaner and opener and brighter and cheerier.
I feel like it's I'm not going to say one bad thing about the new Lola's. I love it.
It's just not. It's not the same.
I have history
what I'm trying to
with
say.
the old Lola's.
Yeah.
A lot of years in the old Lola's, but it is as much the same as it could possibly be.
Yeah.
And then it's going to kick ass
with the new location. But they tried to take as much of the old Lola's as they could and kind of integrate it into this new pretty structure. But
yeah,
have you caught a show out there yet?
I have.
Who'd you see?
Well, actually, I've only seen some of the daytime shows, I think, that are out on the big stage, and I can't think of who they were.
Jack, your memory is really bad.
It's real bad.
I went and saw Austin Mead with a friend, and that was an incredible performance. And it's a great stage. It's plenty of room. I don't know how many people it'd take to pack that. Yeah, that's a little strange, but it works. I don't know.
I'm sure there's a reason for it that I haven't asked
you
about.
can get 100 people down there in front of the stage, I think, probably. They'd be kind of,
right.
It'd be uncomfortable, I think, at 100. But you could get quite a few people down there, and you'd still have, the left, right, and in front of that little pit, and people still have a great view.
I guess that makes it's like mini Billy Bob's pit style or something.
Yeah. And Billy Bob's got a facelift too just recently.
That's what I heard.
They got
moved
one
those
in there.
dumb pillars out of the way.
Opened it up. So good things are happening.
Every time I find a spot to stand in Billy Bob's, I look up and there's the pillar. That's why nobody's
That's
standing
why
here.
it was open. Yeah, yeah. So what do you got on the horizon, man? Are you working on any big projects right now?
There I have a million things going. I usually do. I've got some commission stuff. I was actually working on a couple today, and I've got some shows coming up, some out-of-town shows, 100 prints of my own that I'd like to make if I find time.
Yeah.
I have a print workshop coming up on gallery night, or gallery afternoon, as I'm calling it, because my portion is from 2 to 4 in the afternoon.
When is gallery night?
It is September 10th.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, fall gallery night. All your favorite art dealers.
I am now passing to Jack Daw a flyer for the 100th episode, and he'll notice here in just a moment that the date is September the 10th.
I'm guessing that's what the date was going to be.
So this is the reason that I went and spoke with
Who goes to art shows anyway? Don't worry about it.
Rebecca Lau. It's not Rebecca Lowe like it's spelled.
Oh,
it's
I never
Lau.
knew that.
Yeah, she told me.
There you go.
Because I think I'd called her Rebecca Lowe 2 or 3 times in a row, and she's like, "No, it's Lau," because we were doing a video.
That's fair. It's a fair mistake.
And
that's spelling.
She wasn't being tacky about it. She just wanted to make sure I got it right, so I didn't look like a fool.
Yeah.
But she's gonna. So I found out that she had an event going on September 10th. I had no idea it was a full city thing that's going on.
It's everywhere.
Yeah. So I told her, I said, if you'll help me cross-promote this, then I'll tell people that once they get done with my thing, because this ends at 6.
Oh, okay. Well,
then
you're safe. You're safe.
And then after that, they can all go to
I think most
to
of gallery
Rebecca's.
night is 6, 7, and after.
Yeah. Hers starts at noon and goes until 9 o'clock.
Okay.
So she'll have some... She'll have a lot of time to catch some of the bleed off from this event, provided people still have gas in their tank afterwards. So, where are you going to be at?
Somewhere on Camp Bowie, at a place that I forgot the name of. I usually have it written down somewhere, but at this time I don't.
That's
even
okay.
Have it
I tell you what, if
I figured I could call somebody before the day, like, where the hell am I going?
Well, if you stumble upon where you're going to be before then, let me know and I'll tell people where to find Jack Daw.
I should have brought I have a book that I keep all of my brain cells in.
Yeah.
Just written down.
Somebody else borrowed it?
I just left it at home. Yeah. I should have realized I can't answer a single question without it.
Yeah, I was having a rough day yesterday. I was sitting here with Chad, is it Butler? I call him Chad Funky. It's the dude from
Chad Funky.
Fort Worth, Funky Panther podcast. And I just couldn't, like just now, I got the name of the podcast wrong. I was doing that yesterday. I couldn't get shit right. So
that's how it goes.
Let's see what else we got going on here on your website. All right, so I've got...
I think Nolan Ryan maybe we should...
Okay, I've got Jack Daw's Etsy account here. You can go to Etsy. Help me out here. Etsy.com/shop/Jack Daw.
Yeah, it's Etsy.com/shop/Jack Daw Folk Art. Or probably just like Google search Etsy Jack Daw Folk Art.
There you go. So what I'm pulling up now is a print of Nolan Ryan Beef Franks.
I had a good time with this one. So I have an image of, for those of you not watching on the YouTube, I have an image of Nolan Ryan. There's the iconic picture of him beating Robin Ventura in the face. And I always wanted to make my version of that picture. And then I was at Kroger one day buying hot dogs. Nolan Ryan hot dogs, obviously, because loyal. And I was like, holy shit. Maybe Nolan Ryan's just going to shove a hot dog in his mouth. So
now, what was the story with this encounter? Because I know this really happened.
I think Nolan was maybe pitching a little close to Robin, making him uncomfortable on the plate, and he finally got pissed off, and he charged him. And I've never been hit in the face by a guy who can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but it's probably a terrible idea to run straight into that.
Ugh. Nolan Ryan is kind of a local hero, and he had, I think it was a 2-foot-long hot dog that you could get at the old...
You were going to say something else.
What'd you think I was going to say, Jack?
I mean, he's a legend.
Right, yeah. He's like the Paul Bunyan, but in different ways. But yeah, at the old ballpark, I think they had like a 2-foot-long Nolan Ryan hot dog.
Wow.
And it was right as you were walking in one of those breezeways to get to like row 2 or something, or level 2. And I think I got it one time, and it was actually really incredible. But I just thought that was the weirdest thing. Like, okay, Nolan, you're in your twilight years. Career's over. What do you think you want to do? I'm going to sell really long wieners.
Yeah. I mean,
come to think of it, it might have been 3 feet long. It was ridiculous.
Lord,
Whatever
yeah.
it was huge.
In this day and age, 2 feet hardly even sounds impressive. Just get ridiculous for this stuff. Well, I will say, after I made this picture, I decided to celebrate by taking my kiddo to the ballpark on Dollar Dog Night.
Was this the old park?
No, this is just like, I don't know, last year, I guess.
Okay, so the new one.
So the new one. Yeah, the brand new one.
I haven't been there yet.
Because I went to the okay, I'm like 3 ballparks behind at this point. So I don't catch Rangers games that much. Mm-hmm. And it seems like every time I go to a Rangers game, I go to the wrong place. And it's like, no, this is like a high school field now. It's over there. So we finally found the new ballpark. And we got the Dollar Dogs, and I gotta say, it's the worst fucking hot dog I've ever had in my life.
Well, you get what you pay for, right, Jack?
they're $1. I don't think they were using Nolan Ryan hot dogs.
I bet you they weren't. Were they supposed to be?
It was advertised as Nolan Ryan Dollar Dog Night.
No, those Franks are good.
I don't know.
Very disappointing. So you just made this one recently, and it was just a spur of the moment idea you had. Nothing special going on.
Yeah, just I get these ideas. And I jot them down.
Is that where the ranch style beans came from?
I started the first episode of the Andy Warhol doc, and I don't even know if it even covered the his famous Campbell's soup cans, but it just made me think about him, and I was like, what a stupid thing. He just made a stupid, like, I guess at the time it was clever, so I decided to make a Texas can. It's equally stupid.
God bless you for doing it. Now here's one that we definitely had to click on. This is labeled Heavenly Host, and you folks can find this on his Etsy account. I've got a non-traditional Jesus in front of Old South Pancake House, and it looks like he's what do they call those, Dutch babies? Is he holding the Dutch babies?
He's got the Dutch babies. They are. The
lemon was a dead giveaway.
Yeah, there you go. You got to squirt that holy lemon on there. Yeah, I have a trilogy of Jesus at the 24-hour eateries. I don't know, in some weird celebration of all the times you get drunk and go eat at 3 a.m. And so some of my favorite, Old South is among my favorite 3 a.m. spots.
Oh yeah, no, it's a classic. Probably a dozen times a year I end up at that place. But
it's always a mistake, but
is it
always?
No.
Put just enough time in between them. I don't know, like I'll eat it at 3 in the morning, and then by 7 in the morning I wake up with just like stomach acid pouring out of my mouth.
I love Old South. I almost never get the pancakes. They're pretty good. The pancakes are pretty good.
I've literally never had anything but the Dutch babies.
Really? That might be what's going on with your guts, dude. I don't know.
It's all Dutch baby in there.
And then here's almost the same Jesus in front of the 24-hour Whataburger.
Yeah, this was the first of the Jesus late night dining trilogy, and this one was kind of my wife's idea. My wife almost invented the whole Whataburger as art genre, because I'm positive that this picture is the first Whataburger joke art that was ever made. But she's like, you should do a Whataburger piece. And I'm like, what does that even mean? How do you do a Whataburger piece? And I was like, I'll just throw Jesus in front of it.
Well, you did it right, man, because you got the traditional Whataburger A-frame building in the back, and
classic.
Just
they're fucking up, not making those A-frames.
Well, they're
Chicago.
They're doing a lot of things that make it not Whataburger anymore, and it's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life, because
I'm just waiting for them to get rid of the orange. Like, no more orange.
Oh yeah, that could be it. But the food's not as good. The bread's not the same. It's an absolute tragedy. And now you can't order on the phone. Because I drive a truck for my full-time job, and I would always call them, tell them, hey, this is what I want, and then they'd have it ready. Now you got to use some stupid ass app. I tried it one time. They got the order wrong. I said never again.
Forget this. So. Yeah, I got the app mostly because I wanted a little Whataburger symbol on my on my home screen.
Yeah.
I tried to use it, and it won't let me log in, so I've never used it.
Yeah,
but I have a really cool Whataburger logo on my phone.
You know, they were trying to keep up with the trends and rush the product, I guess, because it's a shit-ass app.
Chicago's got these ideas.
And then this is the third in the series. Where did this place? Was this the second one or the third?
This was the second one, and then Old South was the final. But yeah,
this one
is
is
at Waffle House.
Labeled Last Supper, and it can be yours for $25, folks. And this is a cool-ass print.
I had a lot of fun with this one.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. You hit all the staples. You got Waffle House, Whataburger, and Old South.
Yeah, those are my 3 go-tos.
Those are your go-tos? I'm a big breakfast guy. I like breakfast.
Same.
So
I like sweet wet bread.
Sweet wet bread. Okay.
Which is what most of my breakfasts are.
Big French toast guy?
I'm very fine with it.
So
It's not my top.
My go-to for Fort Worth eateries in the morning used to be Lucille's. They put on a bomb-ass breakfast. Their Eggs Benedict was the thing that I kept going back for until I found Snooze.
Oh, really?
You've been to Snooze?
I have not been to either of those places.
Okay, so I can't vouch for Lucille's anymore because I haven't been in probably a year. I went there one morning, and they didn't open until 10 o'clock, and I went...
It's a weird time
I'm going to keep going. Yeah. Don't quote me on that. I think it was 10 o'clock. But whatever time it was that they were opening, I was like, I'm not going to wait. I mean, this is breakfast.
Yeah.
So it's their fault. And I found Snooze, and it's amazing. And it's not a local...
They blew it.
It's not a local place, which hurts my heart. I like to keep Fort Worth dollars in Fort Worth pockets, but
you like good food.
I gotta eat. So, but yeah, man, if you haven't checked out Snooze, you know where it's at, don't you?
I have no idea. It's on the west side?
Yeah, you know.
Okay, because I'm way
Street.
over on the east side, so I don't get out to this side too much.
Well, if you ever got something going on the West 7th area on a Saturday or a Sunday or hell even a weekday,
is it literally in West 7th?
Yeah, it's you know all that new shit. They got like Body Machine Fitness, that new gym, and crumble cookies, and
I have no idea.
There's
I
burger
went to
place.
Fred's and Lola's, and once they were both gone, I was like, I never have to come here again.
I know, and we're losing Magnolia Motor Lounge too.
Yeah.
But are they opening somewhere else?
I know they're moving, I think, to the west side maybe as well.
Yeah,
or further
I hope
west,
so,
or-
because
yeah,
that was the only one that was closing down that didn't say that they were going to reopen.
I'm pretty sure they are, but yeah, and that was a place that I loved, but like couldn't go there for a weekend show. If they had a show on a Wednesday, I could go, but like I'm not gonna fight varsity to get to Magnolia Motor Lounge.
Yeah, it turned into something awful. But it happened so fast too, because I remember taking a walk with Google Earth, like down the street, like I'm dragging my finger across the screen, and I'm going down the street. And there's nothing but these old, like, one-level warehouses, like tiny little, like, garages and things like that. And then, so that was, like, 2011. And then as soon as you cross Foch Street or whatever. Foch. As soon as you cross that street, it just, everything changes. And it was, all of a sudden now it's 2016. And there's all these apartments and buildings and tall stuff. Like, and then if you turned around on the screen view and looked back, all those warehouses were gone.
Oh,
so somewhere between 2011 and 2016, all of that got revamped.
Yeah.
And so it happened overnight. And it was really cool as shit for, I don't know, about 5 years.
Yeah, there were, because like...
Did Varsity ruin it? It was Varsity, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're like the flagship of ruining it.
Yeah.
A lot of smaller ruiners, but
yeah,
I think they're the big dog.
It's still fun. But it's not what it was. And you got to get out of there before the sun goes down, because people are down there getting shot, stabbed, and raped.
Right.
Not a big fan of any of those things.
Nah, I don't need that. Too old for that.
But I will go to Kung Fu Saloon and have their egg rolls.
Oh,
They've
have
got
egg rolls.
Yeah, it's a bar, and I didn't even know they had food for the longest time. And then I mentioned to the girlfriend in front of the bartender, I was like, I'm hungry. We're going to have to go get some food. And the dude was like, we got food. I'm like, really?
Egg
Where?
rolls.
Because nobody was eating any food, right? But yeah, tried the hamburger egg rolls, and they were incredible. So that's my go-to for 7th Street now.
Nice.
It used to be the Mediterranean place, Terra. You remember that?
Oh, right, yeah.
Damn, that was good.
Yeah.
That was one of the first casualties of like the OGs,
Yeah.
you know? Because they were there
they were good,
since
and they were
09.
classic, yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful. And they had like an $11 all-you-could-eat lunch thing.
Can't beat that.
And I think that's what got their ass kicked out of 7th, right? Because they couldn't afford rent. Like, people came for that $11 buffet.
Right.
And that wasn't covering the bills for them, probably.
Yeah, I'm sure that went crazy.
And I think they've moved somewhere else, but I don't know where. So, anyway, we talked about food a lot.
I eat a lot of food. I love food.
Food's my favorite.
I was eating food today.
Especially when I go like on a hiatus from alcohol, because I do that every once in a while. I just start eating groceries like you wouldn't believe. Can't have booze, but I can eat as much as I want.
See, I used to have 8 drinks, so I can have 8 dinners.
Yeah. It's almost about the same if you're buying beers down on 7th,
right?
$10
Same
a
price.
beer. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how I'll bitch about paying $11 for some food, but then I'll drop $12 on a drink over and over all night long.
Yeah. Oh, I can't afford that. Beer. Totally different story. Comancheria. Did I say it right? Comancheria. Okay. So we got a Centaur / Comanche, and he is overseeing the buffalo herd, is what I took from this.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, he's
this one
the
looks
mystical fear of all the white men encroaching Comancheria. He was one with his horse, and he would show up and ruin your day, but you were ruining his whole life, so it was fair.
This looks like it took a lot of time. There's a ton of detail here. Is this one that kind of maybe put you over the edge on timetable?
I don't remember. I think it looks like it might have.
Yeah.
This is kind of an older piece too, so. Oh yeah, even the date on there is 2016.
Oh yeah, I see it.
So it's been a while since I've seen this guy. Yeah, I have a lot of local interest, and it's just funny the lack. I do love our local history, but also the lack of our local history. Like where I live, no one ever lived there before me, like on the plot of Earth.
Yeah.
Unless a wandering tribe of Wichita or Comanches camped for the night, like no one ever.
Are you talking about North Richland Hills?
In North Richland Hills, yeah.
So there's no history there?
Nothing.
It was just land, and then...
Yeah, it was land, and then my grandpa was the first person to build a house there, and he left it to me, and there's just nothing ever happened. Like you see those signs like, cool. Here in, 1750, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Like nothing ever happened in my yard ever.
When I was at Rebecca Lowe's shop earlier, she had a doormat, and it just said, "You are here." That was it. That's all it said. It's like, that's very accurate.
I was trying to find a doormat that just said "Nope" real big.
Yeah,
I'm still on the hunt for that.
That I would need you to save the link, because I would want one too. Point out one of these that's got a cool story behind it. Here's a fan favorite of mine right here.
Oh, do you
No
want to hear
Humans?
a really horrible story about this one?
Okay, here we go. All right, so this one is labeled No Humans, and it looks like Lady and the Tramp.
It's from All Dogs Go to Heaven.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
So many dog movies. Who keeps up?
Only Dogs Go to Heaven.
But yeah, so my dog, my German Shepherd, had passed and inspired this picture. And so that's the
what was your German's name?
Scampy.
Scampy.
I think the kids, I don't even remember. I don't know who named her. It's a dumb name, but
I love it.
It worked for years.
I already love Scampy.
But then that's her buddy Jake next to her, and then I threw in some random fun dogs from my childhood. You got the Mad Max dog and the Taco Bell dog and old Spuds McKenzie over here partying.
They are having a party. Look at that. He's 3 beers in.
And so I usually I like to do a lot of research when I'm making these pieces. That's just part of the fun for me. But this one, for some reason, I stumbled upon doing some research after I'd already made it.
Uh-huh.
And I found out, so the picture I have is just exactly the movie poster, but I've replaced the main girl from the movie with a dog. And so the movie's called All Dogs Go to Heaven, and mine's called Only Dogs Go to Heaven. That's the joke there. But then I found out after the fact that the little girl...
I knew this.
Do you know this story?
Yeah, I knew where we were going as soon as you brought up the girl.
Okay, nobody needs to know this
No,
story.
they do need to know, because not a lot of people probably know this.
This poor girl who just made this fantastic film. I think she's 9.
She was the one that did the voice acting.
Did the voice for the main character. Her father, failed Hollywood actor, I guess got jealous and murdered her and her mother in their apartment and set their bodies on fire. And Not knowing that, I erased her from the picture. So I have a little guilt about this one.
Well, you can always redo it. I mean, this one's great. This one is wonderful.
Ignorance.
And you know what? It was about Scampy. It wasn't about
exactly.
her.
I didn't know all that. Yeah, I'll put an addendum on it. Only dogs go to heaven, plus that one little girl.
Yeah, man. I just recently heard that not too long ago, and yeah, the world's full of monsters.
It's a horrifying place.
And I'm glad I didn't know about that when I was a kid, because it's just awful. And it was like right after. It was right after they completed the movie. Before it was even released. Why can't I be
a movie star?
Even before it was released, I think she was murdered with her mom. Just absolutely terrible. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed that story, folks. Sorry.
It only gets better from here.
Oh, man, there's Big Tex, and he's holding fire.
Big Tex. Oh,
which is ironic because he was engulfed in fire.
I forgot there's no good stories here. It's all tragedy.
St. Tex. Yeah, we lost Big
Artist
Tex.
pain.
What year was that? I remember sitting in a bar and everybody was holding up beers. Big Tex, here's the Big Tex.
That's got to be, I have no idea.
2013,
7 years ago now?
12, 13, something like that. But
sounds right.
Big Tex is the mascot for the Texas State Fair, and he's always got on a pair of Wranglers. Is that it?
Yeah, he's always got
and these are real pants. I mean, the folks at Wrangler made it.
Sew them up.
They're huge. I mean, I don't know how tall Big Tex is, but the pants go up halfway.
And they're not flame retardant.
No, maybe now. Maybe they are now. I don't know.
Some of them baby Wrangler flame retardant.
But one year there was some kind of electrical issue, and Big Tex went up in a blaze. You can find these images on the internet, I'm sure.
There's a conspiracy theory about that.
Let's hear it.
The people that had to work Big Tex and operate Big Tex have been pushing for a long time, because he's like 50-something years old.
Yeah.
He's old as shit.
He's
none
just
of
waiting
the
to fall
mechanics
apart.
works right.
Yeah.
So they're like, we got to upgrade this thing, and nobody wants to spend the money on it. So they set him on fire.
Well.
And then they got a brand new Big Tex.
Is it all brand new?
I think so.
Yeah. Had to be. Because, I mean, that thing was incinerated. It was insane. But, yeah, it's like his mouth would move, and he'd say things like, howdy, y'all. Welcome to the State Fair. These are incredible, man. So when did you start doing these prints? You told me earlier, I think.
I actually started in 2006. That's when I took the class and learned what this even was, and started making some of these, but it was very casual. And then it was not till about 2013 that I kind of started doing it full time.
I love the comedy side of some of these. Like this one's hilarious. It's titled Old Yeller, and it's the kid from Pokemon
Ash,
holding a 12 gauge, and he's got his hand on little Pikachu with a distressed look, and you can tell it's coming, right?
You know what's going to happen here.
And I guess in the background there's the rabid animal that must have bit Pikachu.
Exactly, yeah. it's the whole Old Yeller story updated for modern kids, because I feel like it kind of lost its punch.
Yeah.
But you stick Pikachu in there and shit just got real again.
Man, I for a long time thought nothing could be sadder than Old Yeller, like that movie.
Oh, man.
Grew up watching that, and then I saw Marley and Me, and as a grown man not being able to keep my shit together, I've got to say Marley and Me is probably the winner now.
That's tough.
Is that John Wayne with a lightsaber?
Yes.
Space Cowboy.
A friend of mine, he's ex-Fort Worthian that lives in Ohio now. He just messaged me one day. He's like, "May the force be with y'all. You can have that." I was like, what the hell? And I was like, all right, I'm going to give John Wayne a lightsaber.
Oh, dude.
Say, "May the force be with y'all."
So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually picking out which ones I'm going to buy and put on the wall here. Hank Hill is definitely going on the wall at the new studio. Got Hank Hill rolling on a propane tank. Let's click on this one, dude. This is awesome. Oh.
I love Hank Hill's discomfort noises.
He'll tell you what.
Damn it, Bobby.
Propane accessories. What is he sitting on top of underneath the propane tank?
That's just a kind of a really simple city sprawl.
Oh, okay. And there's the Arlene
just to take
water
up some
tower.
space.
Is Arlene, Texas a real place?
So I heard that it's based on Garland, which is where I think Mike Judge grew up.
Okay.
And so it's kind of like he just got rid of the G and the D and then kind of played with it, but it's supposed to be Garland, I believe. Dang it, Bobby.
Love it, man. That's awesome.
I don't know how I never named one of my kids Bobby, just like yell that
Just so
every
you
day.
could say that. There's a sultry Bugs Bunny putting on some lipstick with his pink bra.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all had the
Fuds.
hots for cross-dressing Bugs Bunny back in the day.
Of course we did. Jesus.
We didn't have the internet.
Right. We had to use our
Closest thing we had to a
imaginations.
sexy lady, bugs in a bra.
Captain Solo. Now this Screamboat Willie looks frighteningly familiar. This is a reimagining of a Disney cartoon.
Yeah, the old Steamboat Willie.
Was this like your profile picture for a while? Because I've seen this.
I don't think so, but I don't know.
That is really cool. Screamboat Willie. Dang, dude, the detail.
Yeah, so I was wondering if anybody, well, because of my particular black and white kind of old-timey folky style, I thought Steamboat Willie would be a good subject.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to mishmash it with Ratfink. And so I hunted all over Google to see if anybody had ever done this. And for some reason, nobody had ever turned the steamboat into a rat rod. And it's high time.
It had to happen. The universe requires it. Eat trash, be free. Squad goals. There's Johnny Cash.
Classic. Yeah, some of these have no jokes attached, just an homage to country musicians.
Oh, here's one with a story. So Joe Savage just sent me an entire article on the Goat Man.
Oh, nice.
And you know, I'm sure you know this. Matthew Broyles has his song that's kind of a tribute to the Goat Man.
Yeah.
Greer Island, there it is. Yep, 1969. That's okay. And he's got the tire in his hand. So there was a story, and Goat Man got his start from a teenage girl, I guess, that made a police report. And of course, the cops aren't going to believe this story, but they were actually they went out to look for the Goat Man because she was so convincing.
Yeah.
And she had a gash in her car that was like 4 inches long
Right.
or something like that. So the cops actually went out and looked for Goat Man.
It was serious business.
Yeah. She said that this thing had jumped down on her car and was terrorizing him, and they were able to start it and get out of there just in time, right? So did I nail it? Is that pretty much the story?
Yeah. It amazes me. Like he was in the news so often in the late '60s. Like he was constantly in the newspaper, and
there were people going out there with their cars and trying to find this dude with shotguns.
That was the thing to do. Friday night, get you a sixer and a 30-aught, and we're gonna find Goat Man
again before the internet. You know.
Yeah. There wasn't
Nothing
that
else
much to do.
Yeah. We're gonna go out to Greer Island. And
There's one movie at the drive-in. You already saw it.
Yeah, man. You know, I keep commenting on the detail from some of the other ones, but this one takes the metal, dude. This looks like this took forever.
Yes, and it's funny because sometimes it's such, I don't know, drive myself crazy because it's almost unnecessary background. Like it's necessary, but it's not really there for anything other than to hold up the actual subject of the piece. And I'll spend hours doing like leaves, and like who gives a shit about leaves? They just have to be there, so I have to do them.
Makes perfect sense. What's down here by the rocks? I see those.
A couple beer cans.
Okay. Maybe Pabst Blue Ribbon, maybe.
Probably.
Look at that big
Maybe
old
some Lone
foot.
Stars, PBRs, the pull tabs, old school.
Mikey likes got the Ninja Turtles in there.
So I noticed you had old Ken Scott on
I was about
here.
to say, and he was at the Amplify 817 thing.
Yeah, I made him a special one off of this because I'm such a turtle fiend. So that one that I have online is Michelangelo, but I made him a Raph version.
Nice. Did you just change the color of the bandana?
Yeah, it was as easy as that.
Very cool. Yeah, for the listeners that don't know yet, we have a local legend living amongst us here in Fort Worth. Ken Scott was the original Ninja Turtle. He was the guy in the suit. If you remember the 1990s live-action Ninja Turtles, that was an animatronic suit. There was a guy in the suit, it was Ken Scott, and then you had a guy that had to work the controls because it had, I don't know how many motors and gizmos inside of it. So there's a guy doing that, and then there's another guy that does the voice.
And then there's a fourth guy in a different suit that
does the
is
kung
different
fu
for some reason. Well, Ken does the kung fu.
Yeah, and then there's even another guy that has to tell Ken what to do in the suit, right?
Yeah, and then you have
you can't see shit apparently.
The sixth guy is just the turtle fluffer. You gotta have that.
Did he make the credits? I don't know if he was in the credits. Oh, Little Tex! Oh my God, I've seen this one. This is hilarious. So Little Tex is Big Tex as a child, with building blocks behind him that, if arranged correctly, would spell burn. And he's got a little match going there.
Playing with matches.
It's adorable.
You just know what's going to happen. Yeah, I have a lot of fun just messing with Big Tex on fire because it's the funniest thing that may have ever happened.
Yeah, but, for us locals, it's, it's still a tragic... The wound hasn't totally healed yet. Here's the one that's on the billboard, or at least a version of it. Is this the full design that went up on the billboard?
The billboard is slightly different.
It's a little bigger, isn't it?
It's billboard size.
Well, I mean, I feel like I remember more being inside the picture.
Yeah, it's more of a landscape style. It's horizontal instead of vertical. So I remade this one for myself. But I made the billboard specifically to fit a billboard, which is not usually my size that I would use.
Right, different format entirely.
And so this one, unlike the billboard, has a little Native American guy on it.
Okay, so the billboard didn't get that one, huh?
The city council wasn't sure about the Native American.
They're like, well, Jack, we love what you're doing here, but we were wondering if...
we got rid of him once. Let's
oh, my God. Oh, no.
Like, so okay.
This one's titled Roof. It says Rufus Snow discovers the North Richland Hills. Now, is there some real history behind that?
Roof Snow. Are you familiar with the street?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's always a traffic jam right there, and that's why I remember it.
It's Roof Snow's ghost.
Yeah, holding shit up.
But yeah, so he was a real guy, real good guy. He was involved with the school board and everything back in the early 1900s.
Okay.
I don't actually do. I
Something
forgot
like
all
that,
the history.
yeah.
I swear to God, I researched it, but
it's in your brain box.
And he has a street named after him. And his street was named in his lifetime, in his very old age, and he would walk up and down his street.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Just
adorably in his overalls, like, this is my street.
That's a little ridiculous.
Got my name on it.
Seems a little patting yourself on the back there, Mr. Snow. Well, cool, man. Yeah, there's a shit ton of this. I don't know if we're on page 2. We might make it through everything you got here.
Keep coming.
Do you have all your art on your Etsy account?
More or less, yeah. All the available, not everything, but everything that's available now is pretty much on the site.
Very cool. Well, I'd invite you out to this event that we're having on September the 10th, but you are going to be busy.
Well, I'm busy till 4.
Okay.
So
we'll still be there for a couple hours.
After that.
Oh, I like Starman. That's David Bowie there, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a very emotional piece, actually.
Really?
It was Monday. I remember this whole day. It was Monday morning, and they announced that David Bowie had died. And I'm not even a massive David Bowie fan.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, weird, David Bowie died. And he had released those 2 videos from his new album, and one of them is like him in a hospital dying.
Damn.
Which I thought was fucking crazy. And then I found out that he had cancer for years and just not mentioned it, and super stoically created an incredible album. And so all of that blew my mind, and I listened to his new album probably 30 times in a row while working on this piece, and just being the most impressed with anyone I've ever been.
Yeah. I'm going to have to check that out. He an incredible actor and an incredible musician, and he had a pretty powerful life.
Yeah, he was.
I don't think he left anything on the table.
He was amazing. He's a star man.
When I say incredible actor, I was thinking about some of the roles he's done, and now I'm like, well, he was a lot of fun.
It's just always nice to see David Bowie.
Yeah, like The Labyrinth, I'm thinking about The Labyrinth. I'm like, I don't know that he was actually that good, but
a little heavy on the dick pouch.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God.
This is for kids, right? Can we do something with this?
Did he do all the work with the globes, the big glass balls? Do you think he has those kind of skills, or was that all
probably
somebody else's hand?
He's definitely a wizard. He's got 2 different colored eyes.
Well, dang, man, I appreciate you being on the show, and people got to go check out your Etsy. It's give it to them one more time because it's not showing up on the screen right now.
Oh, Etsy.com/shop/Jack Daw Folk Art, or I think if you literally Google Jack Daw Folk Art, it'll be one of the first options.
Perfect. And anytime you got a show coming up, let me know. I'm going to start trying to get Fort Worth Roots out to more events. We've done 2, we've done 3 outings. We've done 2 shows. We did Psychedelic Panther with Joe Guzman and that whole thing. Man, that was awesome. Yeah. We're already getting ready for the next one. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, you weren't...
I didn't get to make it out. I think I was out of town or had art shows or something, but
well, if you can make it to this
incredible.
Next one.
Quite an undertaking.
You would definitely fit with your art out there at Psychedelic Panther. I don't have any say in it, but I know a guy. I could maybe...
You can vouch for me.
Maybe I could, But and then we did the River Oaks Springfest car show, and you should come out to that too, because last year, or last April, was an incredible turnout. And since that one was good, this one's definitely going to be better.
Oh, nice, yeah.
So might try to get you out there with us. We're going to try to be there too. I have this fear that Psychedelic Panther and that damn car show are going to end up on the same weekend.
That's how it always happens.
I hope that doesn't happen.
You'll have 3 weekends with not a single thing to do, and then on the 4th weekend, there's 8 different things you want to go to.
Well, I know both people that put those events on, so maybe I can, let's...
Put it in their ear.
Very simply, I will just have to be in 2 places at the same time. I'll have to make it work, because I can't miss either one of those.
Gotta do it.
But yeah, let me know next time you got a show going, and maybe I can't set up a table next to you, but I could at least tell the Fort Worth Roots listeners about it.
Sounds good.
Make sure they get a chance to come out and look at your new art. How often do you make a new print?
I try to do at least 1 a month, but I get sidetracked on so many other things, or doing art for other people, or I got 2 kids, so kids stuff, or going to Mexico City and eating tacos for 8 days.
Yeah.
But I have one in the works right now. I'm really excited about. I just I had to put it on pause because I got other stuff.
Right. Some commission stuff.
People jumping the line.
Some people paying you.
Yeah.
Personal stuff has to go on the back
burner.
VIP
treatment. My dumb idea goes to the back.
Dang. That makes me want to commission a piece. If we wanted to commission a piece, how much do we have to spend on that?
So much money.
Okay. All right. Not worth it. Definitely not worth it. Okay.
It's not that much.
So if you would like a commission piece by Mr. Jack Daw,
leave him alone. He's busy.
He's got too much going on. Never mind. Forget I said that. All right, brother. Well, thank you again. And anytime you want to come on Fort Worth Roots to talk about an event that's coming up or a new sad story about one of your art pieces, just let me know.
It's always going to be a sad story, you know it. I do. I hit you with a joke and I make you cry.
Yeah. That's a nice 1-2 combo.
There you go.
All right. All right. Fort Worth Roots. Thank y'all for listening, and we will see you next week.
Bye. Guys.
A huge thank you to our new friend Jack Daw. Go check out his artwork. First chance you get. Like I said, if you don't buy anything, that's something else. But you're at least going to want to go check this out and be entertained, because some of it's hilarious. Some of it's a little sad. And now that you got the story behind a few of them, but incredible stuff. And you can also check it out on the YouTube channel, like I said at the beginning. Just go to YouTube, type in Fort Worth Roots. It'll pull it right up. It's this week's episode. Cool stuff. Jack, again, thank you very much, man. And I'm going to have to get with you on a few pieces here that need to go inside the studio. That's got to happen. So, what else? All right, let's talk about these sponsors. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. Guys, gals, if you haven't heard me rave about these folks already, whenever I set out to get sponsors, I wanted the best in every industry. Roofing Solutions is being recognized by organizations all the time, getting awards left and right. And it's because he's the best in the industry. And that's the kind of person that we want to do, sponsorship with. So Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk. You can find him at roofingsolutionshouk.com. And we'll also have his phone number and everything else in the show notes. They are doing a roof tune-up. And this is something that you need to do periodically, once a year preferably. What they do is they come out, they check your roof for any kind of damage. They will seal up pipes and vents and anything else that's sticking out of your roof to make sure that there's a seal around the openings that occur between the shingles and, the stuff that pokes through the roof. You're going to want to check that out. roofingsolutionshouk.com. And thank you very much to Darren and Tanya for sponsoring the show. And you guys get 50% off. 50% off these roofing tune-ups. You just have to mention Fort Worth Roots, and they'll say, okay, awesome, here's 50% off. So get this taken care of. We had a friend, excuse me, I have a friend that called me after that first big rainstorm we just had. And he's like, hey, man, what's the number for that roofer? Because we got water coming through our ceiling. Now, that's the kind of thing that happens if you don't stay on top of this periodic maintenance. Sealing up pipes and vents and things like that, you're going to get water intrusion. And that's it's going to cost you some money. Whereas with Darren at Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk, you can get this thing nipped in the bud ahead of time. Avoid any kind of costly water damage just by getting some basic maintenance done. And like I said, you're getting 50% off. I believe that comes out to $250 right off the bat. So, and if they find anything else more severe up there, they'll let you know. And if you want them to stop the work, at that point they will. They have to go no further without your permission. So, nothing to worry about there. But this is a really good idea to protect most people's most valuable investment. So, take a look at that. Roofing Solutions by Darren Houk, and that's roofingsolutionshouk.com. That'll be in the show notes. Houk Walker Originals. Find them at houkwalker.com. These folks are actually putting together quite a few of the personalized items that are going to be given away at the September 10th event this Saturday. houkwalker.com. They've got a laser engraver, and this is the kind of stuff they do. They customize stuff for people, and they make wood products, and all of it is customizable. It's really cool stuff. And I know personally that before I found Houk Walker Originals, I'd buy stuff from other companies like online, and nothing wrong with that. But if you can get it cheaper and better and sourced locally right here in Fort Worth, why are we not doing that? Let's do that. Let's support local people. Let's keep Fort Worth dollars in Fort Worth pockets. Woodpostmetalworks.com. You can go there and you can get 10% off anything you purchase from their website. They do light steel fabrication, and they will make sure that you have the best customized product. I've seen them do a lot of signs lately for businesses, but they also do fence repairs, replacements, gates, things like that. Anything you can think of with a plasma cutter. That's their territory, and they're good at it. They've been doing it for a while, and they've got some incredible products, like wood grills. That's something that I've had my eye on for a while. But you can go there and you get one of these beautiful custom products, and with 10% off just by using code podcast817. Yeah, that's right. And get your 10% off just for being a Fort Worth Roots listener. Awesome. Big shout out to our sponsors. Thank y'all for taking care of us. And y'all make sure to support your local people. And it's not just about using somebody locally. It's about using somebody that knows what they're doing. That's important too. And shout out to our most recent Patreon supporter, Angela Walker. She is on our Patreon monthly contributor list. Every month she makes a contribution to the Fort Worth Roots. And I'd said a long time ago that I'm going to refrain from trying to get people to look into our Patreon account. I wanted to show you that I'm here for the long haul and that Fort Worth Roots is going to be something that you can count on. But most of the tiers, now you can go in there and you can pay for the lowest tier, and that just kind of equivalent to I'm going to talk about you on the show, give you a nice shout out, little pat on the back. But we do have the next tier up, and that one gives you access to our entire unedited library. So, and I believe that's about 95% of all the episodes that we've done on the Fort Worth Roots podcast. There's actually probably 15 minutes to an hour more of material for almost every single one of these episodes. So if you'll go that extra mile and support us on our Patreon account, you can get it by going to our website, fortworthroots.com, and there's an icon, I believe it's at the top right of the page, and it's the one that just looks like nothing. It's a weird logo. Click on it. It'll take you to the Patreon site, and you can also be a contributor. And that's, the more I look for sponsorship, the more I'm realizing that it's going to be the listeners that support the show for the most part. So if you find value in the show, check us out on our Patreon account. There's a $3 option, a $9 option, and then a few other options on there. So any support is very, very appreciated. But just being here, just listening, and just downloading an episode of the Fort Worth Roots podcast is helping us. So thank you for that. And if nothing else, just glad you're listening to the show. And every time you do download one, it shows up on our analytics and makes it easier for us to reach a broader population. So thank you. Our September 10th event is this Saturday. This is the last time you're going to hear me talk about it before we actually pull the trigger. So far, it's looking pretty damn great. We haven't had any cancellations from our bands. Everything's just lining up great. Now, if you're in any kind of high-stress job that production matters, if you're doing anything like that, you know better than to say something like, man, everything's going great, because everybody's just a little bit superstitious. So I shouldn't say things like it's all going great. But I was looking at the weather today, and it looks like we're going to be putting up with 90-degree temperatures. And, when you compare 90-degree temperatures to the triple-digit shit we've been putting up with for the past 2 months and some change, that doesn't sound that bad. But it is still going to be warm. But the good news is there's an inside area to Pouring Glory, about half the size of the outdoor area, and it's air conditioned. So if you're hanging out with us all day, which you don't have to do that, you can pop in, check it out, get your grab bag, say hi, maybe stay for the raffle, stay for the picture. It's not really a raffle, it's a giveaway. And then take off. But if you're going to stay from 1 to 6, then and you're worried about getting hot, you can always go inside and cool off a little bit. But it's going to be fun. Here's what's going on. Late to the Station is going to be playing first. Then we got Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations. They'll be up second. And then we have a third band for you called The Gray, and they'll be playing third right before Kate Greathouse, a local comedian who is hilarious, will be taking the stage to entertain you for a set. Don't know what she's got prepared for us. It's going to be a surprise, but it's going to be great. I've seen her live twice now, and she's always hilarious. The grab bags at the door. I would encourage all of you that are going to the event to go on Facebook, go to the Fort Worth Roots Facebook page, and check out the event. I've got it pinned to the top. I'm going to be putting more updates in there. I'm going to be showing you guys what I'm bringing to the event as far as the grab bag stuff. We have koozies, pins, more pins, stickers, other things, all sorts of stuff. And it's going in these bags. And then those bags that you're going to get, you can take those right on over to the vendor market that Mickey Wendell with the Artful Village put together for us. And you can put stuff in those bags that you want to purchase. You don't have to. This is a free event, but there are going to be people there with their custom handcrafted stuff that you can check out, and maybe get some shopping out of the way. Holidays are coming, so this is going to be good. What else? $3 beer. There's a $3 beer on tap, and that is, I guess, all day, along with a special food menu. Something else I devised here at the last minute, we're going to do an option for maybe the first 50 people that show up. We're going to give you an option between a t-shirt or a free beer. So you might not want a t-shirt. You might think a free beer sounds better. Or we might run out of t-shirts, and then we'll still have, 50 free beers to give out. One per person, You got to be 21. There's probably some other things TABC would know about that I don't. Anyway, I'm not going to give you nothing. They're going to give it to you at the bar, and I'm going to pay for it. So I'm not really involved with that. Just so you know, TABC, FBI, CIA, whoever's listening. I shouldn't say all those bad words. What else? That's it. The giveaways. Lots of giveaways. Really cool stuff. I'll let you in on the secret. I've been kind of keeping this close to my, not telling anybody about this because I didn't know exactly what was going to come out of it. I just posted a little video that I took from Doc's Records, which is located over here just north of 7th Street. I think it's Carroll. Anyway, it's Doc's Records and Vintage, I think is the full name of the business. And this place is really cool. I'm glad that we have stuff like this in Fort Worth. It feels good walking into a place like that supports art and music, and you just need to go see this place. But anyway, walked in there, asked them if I could put the flyer for the event on the door. They were more than happy to do that. Told them what I was doing. Hey, do you guys want to throw anything in the bag? I got a couple of stickers. Not everybody's going to get one of those. In fact, I think I'm going to put the sticker with one of the handouts. But we've got a winter cap, a beanie with Doc Records on it. That's going to be one of the things we're giving away. And I know you're not impressed yet, but wait. Listen to this crazy stuff. I was trying to think of what would be cool. Like, what should Fort Worth Roots do as the thing that they give away during the door prize? And this is probably just a product of my lack of imagination, but I went and I bought you a vinyl record player from Doc's Records. And I don't know. We'll see what else is going to show up last minute. But that might be the grand prize because listen, them things ain't cheap. But anyway, somebody is walking away from that event this Saturday with a brand new record player. So anyway, I don't know if you've been wanting a record player, but there's one more reason to come out. But there's going to be a lot. So right now, if just based on what I have been promised and what I have in inventory, I have in my possession about 15 different things that I'm going to give away for door prizes. And then I've got another 10 that are on the way, presumably. And then I've got more coming in from other businesses that wanted to throw something at it. So there's going to be potentially like 30 things that we're going to be able to give away, if not more. So everybody should have a pretty fair shake at the whole door prize thing. But you are getting a grab bag. We've got 100 of those. So I think the moral of the story is show up early. Do that. And we got the event t-shirts. Do not have enough of those for everybody. So we are doing the beer thing as an option also. But it's going to be good. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to try to give you guys as much cool free stuff as I can. And then we'll gauge how this event went. And the next one's going to be even bigger and even better. But in order for us to do stuff like this, you got to come out. And you're not just supporting Fort Worth Roots. You're supporting the venue, Pouring Glory. And Scott, his wife, their entire team are just the nicest people you'll ever meet. And, hey, goodwill only goes so far. So come for the food. The food is incredible. The venue is very chill, very relaxed, nice outdoor area if you haven't been there. And if you haven't been there, you really have missed out. It's kind of tucked off behind all the other bigger stuff on the main street. So a lot of people don't know about it. But it's every bit as cool as all the other awesome things we got going on in that area of town. And it's just a crying shame you haven't seen it yet. But it's going to be fun. We're going to do a live recording with the Funky Panther Boys. That's the #1 podcast in North Texas. We're going to have them out there recording with us before everything gets kicked off. So I think we said 11:30. We'll see how that works out. But anyway, that's going to be fun. And you're going to get a chance to meet with me, of course, but then 10 other podcast groups that will be coming out there, allegedly. No, they don't work for me. They don't owe me anything. So hopefully they do show up. I know for a fact that at least 8 or 9 of them are definitely going to be there. So, and Late to the Station, if you have not heard Carrie and Paul play, they are all over the place. So out of everybody we got performing with us out there at this event Saturday, Late to the Station is the one I'd be surprised if you hadn't seen. If you tell me you haven't seen them play live, it's because you don't go out. They are all over the place. They gig everywhere. They're in Denton. They're in Weatherford. They're all over Fort Worth. And they gig, I think, every single damn day now. Easy to catch them. Itchy Richie and the Burning Sensations is a fantastic group of dudes. A friend of mine that's been on the podcast now, I believe, 3 times. Is that right? Don't get mad at me if I'm wrong. But just real fun dude and happy to play with us. And then the Gray. This kid I shouldn't call him a kid. This exciting young man is, he's got a hell of a stage performance. I keep telling him that, and it's true. I think he's got the kind of energy that's going to put him in a national spotlight one day. Very talented on the guitar, great music, and I'm excited that he's going to be at this event. So come check this out. I am so glad that we're here now and that the planning phase is pretty much over. I'm going to be out there talking to people, passing out flyers, doing all that silly stuff, trying to make sure that this event is excellent for you. But it's over. We're just, we're on the runway. We've got the green light. We have the active. We're the air gauge, the airspeed indicators are live. We're moving down the runway. We're about to get lift. I know, any pilot listening to this just threw up in his hat. Anyway, we're ready. We're going to do this, and we want you to be there with us. It's 1001 Bryan Avenue, Fort Worth, Texas. This will be in the show notes along with everything else. Podcasters coming out. It's probably you, the Funky Panther, the Jerry Jonestown Massacre, the Failed Podcast, Fort Worth Roots, that's us, Emo Otaku, I'm never going to get that right, Forever Reckless, Funky Town Podcast, Thanks for the Invite Podcast, and Osos Colosos Podcast, and Fort Worth Famous. These people have been exceptionally supportive of this event. We tried to do something called the Fort Worth Scavenger Hunt, and I don't know how well that's going. I haven't gotten any feedback yet. I think we are still waiting on a couple of podcasters to actually put out their episode where they tell you what letter it is that they're going to use for the scavenger hunt. I'm not sure. We'll just have to see how that plays out. But if there are any questions, if you get confused about the scavenger hunt and it looks like just a disorganized mess, hit me up and I will help you piece it together. media@fortworthroots.com. And we also, just recently, let me see if I can find this while I'm talking to you, just got a phone number for the Fort Worth Roots podcast, and this thing is going to be placarded on all the stuff, but it won't be on any of the marketing material that you'll see at this event because I just got the thing. Oh, and that reminds me, there is a big reveal at this event, and if you're listening to episode 98 with Chad Funky, he gave it away, and I had to bleep him out because it's a secret. It's going to be a surprise. So anyway, the phone number that's going to be placard on everything is 817-988-1292, and that's the Fort Worth Roots podcast new phone number. I'm going to try to get the voicemail fixed here pretty soon this week. This week's going to be crazy. Y'all should check in on me. Send me love. Send me messages. Send me emails. Send me hugs if you see me in person. All right. I probably forgot something. And to you, the person that's losing his mind because I forgot to say something, I am genuinely sorry. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. We got a little bit of rain here at the tail end of it. Cooled everything off. That is nice. And I hope we're all done with rain. All done. And then after September 10th, if it needs to rain, it can rain again, but let's just quit. Stop with the rain, okay? All right, thank you. I will see y'all next week. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. And, hey, you know what? I'm not going to see you next week. Roll it back a notch. I'm going to see you Saturday. I'm going to see you. And I'm looking forward to that. I've been waiting to meet you. It's going to be great. And I was talking to Jeffrey Lord today. He's the guy with the Funky Town podcast. He's going to be filling out autographs. And that is cool. That is real cool. See y'all Saturday.